When local growers put great food on Tennessee tables, that's living green. Tonight on Live Green Tennessee, we explore a new farmers market taking place on the University of Tennessee Knoxville campus. Then we take a look at Spring Back Recycling project with Belmont University, and finally we visit Crabtree Farm just outside downtown Chattanooga and get some urban farming tips. All this and more coming up next on Live Green Tennessee.
This program is brought to you in part by...
Behind every Pick Tennessee Products logo is a Tennessee farmer who brings you fresh, local food grown with the kind of pride that gets handed down through generations. From now through fall, you can find Tennessee fruits and vegetables on farms and at farmers markets near you. Find your Tennessee farmers at picktnproducts.org.
What makes our state unique? Find out on the new Tennessee Channel, a statewide initiative by your public television stations. Each program is created in Tennessee, about Tennessee, and broadcast in Tennessee.
The Tennessee Channel, Saturdays 6 to 10 p.m. Eastern and Sundays 2 to 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on your public television station.
Funding for this program is provided in part by the United States Department of Agriculture, providing leadership on food, agriculture, natural resources, and related issues based on sound public policy and efficient management.
Hello, I'm Melinda Kiefer, and I'm proud to bring you stories from across our great state on Live Green Tennessee. You know, Tennessee is blessed with plenty of farmers markets. One of the recent arrivals, open to the public for just 2 years, is UT's Farmers Market. Operating from May through October and held at the UT Gardens, the market offers fresh produce grown by UT agriculture students, local food, entertainment, children's events, and more. East Tennessee PBS's Chris Smith takes a look at this new farmers market.
My name is Annette Wislacki. I'm the vegetable specialist for the University of Tennessee, and I help growers across the state when they have issues with their vegetable production. And I also oversee the organic and sustainable crop production outreach program, and we do various things with that, and one of them is we have an internship, and that's actually how the farmers market started, was through the internship program, and we started the market on campus so the interns would have direct marketing experience.
I'm Fiona McAnally. I'm the market manager for the UT Farmers Market. I'm also a graduate student. I'm getting my master's in plant science, and as part of that work I'm working with local farmers and running the farmers market. The students that are in this program actually get hands-on experience. They work at the UT Organic Farm, which is off of John Sevier Highway in Knoxville, and they do everything from planting the garden to planting the garden and bringing their produce here to the market where they sell it.
The internship program is an 8-month-long program. It goes from January until August. And it's a way to get students more involved in operations that happen at the farm. So they get to plan a market gardens. They get 1 acre, and we spend the winter and early spring choosing varieties and planning out the market. At the end of the spring semester, they start working full-time at the farm, and they work through the summer until fall semester starts up again. And then in the fall, right now, we recruit for the next year's. Today we have fall crops. We have some collard greens, Swiss chard, lettuce, broccoli, cabbage, some onions, and still some of our peppers and things. So,
getting more and more of a demand for young people who want to learn about farming, learn about agriculture, how to grow vegetables, how to have sustainable farms of their own.
I was interested in the internship this year because it's part of, well, for one thing, it's required. For another, it's just something that is just kind of in tune. I've been interested in learning the practice of farming, the business side of it, and all the other aspects of agriculture, especially organic agriculture. And so this opportunity was just a perfect segue.
Here at the market, we have a variety of vendors. We have both students, but we also have UT graduates who have started their own businesses. And then we have parts of UT, and I think that's a little bit what makes our farmers market unique from others. For instance, we have the group that is learning all about bees. They have the UT honey actually here for sale that is produced as part of that program. We also have UT raised beef, where they raise beef and they're looking at different things with the cattle, and the beef, some of it ends up here. So we have the traditional, all the vegetables that are seasonal and fresh, but then we have baked goods, we have value-added products like salsa, granola, and all types of things that are made from the produce.
Hi, my name is Philip Moore. I'm a first-year master's student here at the University of Tennessee at Knoxville. And right here we're selling the honey that we've produced from our beekeeping enterprise. It's just a program that we have to teach new beekeepers and to help teach extension associates how to advise their beekeepers in the state. So we have a number of research hives here on campus and in the surrounding area that we maintain. And every year we have some extra honey to sell, and so we try to sell that here at the farmers market to help bring some local support to this market and to give us a little extra cash to put back into our program. Buying honey locally has a lot of benefits, one of which, the primary reason we have customers come to the farmers market, is to get an allergy benefit. If you buy local honey that's produced within about a 10-mile radius of where you live, the bees will collect pollen as well as nectar, store that in their honey, and then when you eat the honey, you get a small amount of pollen. That gives you what is commonly thought of as a flu vaccine type of reaction, where your body can build antibodies to that pollen and prevents you from getting allergy attacks in the spring.
While at school here at the University of Tennessee, I worked in the university trial gardens for 4 years, and I went on after I graduated to become a estate gardener. And then I was approached about starting a company, and we decided to do cut flowers. We saw a need, that wasn't really filled in our community for fresh, locally grown flowers. I've come to this farmer's market and there weren't any other flower growers, and I said, well, we will go and we will sell flowers there. When purchasing fresh flowers, it is best to purchase from a local grower. One thing about my flowers is I harvested them this morning, so they're the freshest that you're going to get them at all. Also, with them being harvested locally, they're going to last longer because they haven't been shipped for a week, and they don't have such an impact on the environment.
So for the future of the program, we'd like to see it continue to expand. We're thinking about starting a community-supported agriculture where people would buy a share from the student market, and that would give the students even more opportunity and a different marketing venue than they have now, and we think it would also help make our program self-sustaining. This program has been funded through various small grants, and we've been very fortunate that we've received grants every year. We would like to expand, and with added support we hope to start that community-supported agriculture, which will then allow us to become self-sustaining and keep the market going, because I think as a new farmers market, we're building momentum, and as we go, it'll continue to build. We really want this to be a place where people come and hang out in the summer for dinner and get to know the UT gardens and see what we have to offer on the ag campus.
The International Sleep Products Association estimates that as many as 20 million mattresses are dumped into the nation's landfill each year. But in Nashville, a creative effort is turning those numbers around. With help from Belmont University, Spring Back Mattress Recycling reaps benefits for business students, the environment, the city's homeless, and us all. WCTE's Todd Gerald has more on this story.
I am the faculty advisor of the Belmont Enactus team. Enactus now exists within 600 college campuses in the United States and 1,700 around the world in 39 countries. We just came back from the Enactus World Cup in Washington, D.C., where we competed against the best teams from 39 countries, and because of our students' willingness to create social entrepreneurial businesses that lead to social change, we were ranked by the Fortune 500 companies that support Enactus as the best team in the world.
I'm a senior at Belmont University. I'm a major in social entrepreneurship, that being working with any business that exists because of a social mission.
Spring Back started with one of our business advisory board members coming to us who had just actually bought and sold a mattress company. And he gave us the idea of mattress recycling as a potential social enterprise.
All of us came together to the table to try to figure out what was going on. How do you disassemble a mattress? How do you get the metal off of the wood on a box spring? How do you sell to a scrap buyer? How do you bundle these materials so that they're more valuable?
We took a year to figure that out. And once the model was built, then we presented the model to Isaiah 58, a local ministry that served formerly incarcerated men.
He said he had a project where he wanted to employ homeless guys. And I said, well, we have great relationships with guys on the streets that are always looking for work, so I think I can help you there.
I was 25-year-old, 26-year-old running around and just being wild and, partying, not giving a care about anything in the world and being selfish, doing whatever I wanted. Got into drugs and alcohol and ended up going to prison for 2.5 years, and it was a learning experience. And then moved from prison to Isaiah 58, moved into one of their homes. They taught me a lot on giving back and not being so self-centered. That whole experience helped me as an individual to become who I am now.
The vision was always that we would help men transition back into society. And of course, what do most of us do at least 40 hours a week is work.
Could they figure out a way to bring in mattresses at a particular price point, efficiently scrap those mattresses, and then sell the component parts at a price point that made economic sense?
So we basically got some mattresses and took them to the warehouse and with a razor knife cut them open to see what was inside of them. We did that probably 3 or 4 months, just cutting them up and piling stuff up, wondering what we were going to do with it all, because we didn't know where to sell the products or anything when we started. And over time, we finally found buyers for absolutely every product. We didn't even know the plastic that the mattresses were coming in was worth money. So we finding a buyer for that. 99% of a mattress is recycled. The mattress is several different layers. It's like a sandwich. It has an outer cover, which is a quilted foam with fabric and foam, and then under that's normally another layer of just strictly foam. And then you'll have cotton, and then a shoddy or felt, as we call it, is on top of the metal. And then each one of them is baled up in individual bales and sold to different suppliers. Originally, we thought that the metal would be the prize item out of the mattress because everybody recycles metal. And through time and finding out buyers for the different products, we figured out that the foam is the more valuable product out of a mattress. They're repurposed by grinding it up and put it in carpet padding. These bales right here are about 800 pounds and about $130 a bale. One of the things that we learned when we started doing this was on the box springs that the metal connected to the wood. It was real difficult to get off. We tried everything from sledgehammers to beat it off to crowbars. We tried to even make a tool, and it was just so difficult because these box springs have these staples that staple the metal to the wood. And we finally come up with a method of building a blade and put it on the front of the forklift, and then we put this plate on the ground, and we just sit the box spring on the ground and just scrape the metal off of it. So it was taking us 20 minutes to get it. Now it takes us 30, 45 seconds. The bales here average about 35 mattresses, and they weigh about 1,000 pounds. So these 20 bales behind me, that's 10 tons of metal, which is about 700 mattresses. If you figure 120 per 53-foot trailer, that is 5 trailer loads of mattresses that would go straight to the landfill. And up on this wall there's 20 bales, so there's 10 tons, which is going to average out about 700 mattresses. And we do this every 2 weeks. If we average that out, that's 27,000 mattresses a year. If you could imagine a 53-foot trailer, which is 3,300 cubic feet, it'll hold 125 mattresses that would go to the landfill. They bring them to us, we break them down, and the only thing that goes to the landfill after we're done with them is this 16 cubic foot bale of trash.
People, I think, inherently want to divert solid waste. First, we want to bless the community partner. In this case, Isaiah 58 and the men they serve.
We have one particular one that was living in a tent, eventually come to work for us and moved out of the tent into a hotel, and currently has his own apartment.
Second, we want to create an opportunity for the student so the student can grow personally, professionally, spiritually through this experience.
I've learned more than any class at Belmont has taught me, because I've been out in the community engaging with people, working with people, and building an actual business.
At the same time, they're working on different markets in different cities around the country to duplicate it.
Without the leadership of Bill and without Brian King and the men who have committed to disassembling the mattresses, I don't think we would have ever been able to take this model and actually employ it.
You know, Spring Back has 2 elements, breaking down mattresses and building up lives.
We hope it sustains for years and years to come, and that's our goal.
You know, Spring Back is good for the environment, good for society. We're recycling mattresses and recycling men.
Crabtree Farms is located just minutes away from downtown Chattanooga. This urban farm not only provides fresh produce for the metro area, but it focuses on educating folks on how to grow crops and the importance of sustainable farming methods. WTCI's Ross Tillman profiles this urban farm.
Crabtree Farms is a teaching and research farm. We're open for our community to come visit us and learn alongside of our farmers. There's a million different things to see. We have over 120 varieties of plants. We have goats here, and it's just a beautiful place to visit. So Crabtree Farms has a really vested interest in being sustainable. While we are not certified organic, we do follow all the organic standards and even try to surpass them.
We follow the national organic guidelines set forth by the USDA, but we're not certified organic. And largely that's because we deal with all of the customers that buy from us on a first-hand basis. So we don't need the third-party certification. At Crabtree, we grow food, based on how we would want to eat it. And so we don't want to eat a lot of synthetic pesticides, herbicides, things like that. We try to have a lot of biodiversity on the farm. We really encourage beneficial insects. We use a lot of cover cropping techniques that pull in beneficial insects, choke out weeds, and really do things to make our jobs easier.
Well, the farm is 22 acres. 11 acres are visible and 5 are actually farmed on. Those 11 acres that are outside this area are kind of a buffer zone and still a woodlot. So we're not going in and chopping down all those trees and expanding our fields into that area. We're letting that area kind of just thrive as it is. But planted in there, instead of planted like we do all of our fields, we actually have shiitake mushroom logs. They grow really great, of course, in damp, dark environments, and the woodlot's just great for that. We're using that space even though we're not cutting down all those trees and making those birds and things that live in the woodlot move. One thing is our black plastic. We don't recommend using just regular black plastic on your fields because at the end of the season you have to throw it away. But the black plastic that we're trying out is biodegradable, and you can actually plant into it, and then over the course of a couple seasons it'll break down and actually feed the plants and provide really great nutrients for the soil. Another really friendly aspect of the black plastic is that it can trap moisture underneath the plastic, so you don't have to water as often. Normally if you just water your fields, all that water would evaporate, but that plastic keeps it down with the roots of the plant. Also, the plastic can kind of compete with the weeds and keep them suppressed so that they're not competing with your plants. And that's really great for us because we don't have to apply things to kill those weeds. It also helps us focus our energies on other things on the farm. Instead of weeding those beds, we can weed the ones that don't have the plastic in it. Our CSA program has about 70 families in it. CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture. Folks give us a bunch of money at the beginning of the year. That helps us cover most of our supplies and the needs for the upcoming growing season. And then we, in return, give them a box of fresh produce throughout the months of May through November. So it's a really great deal for them. It ends up being about $28 a week of produce that they get. And it's always the best, most freshest stuff that we have on the farm. And we package it up and then they pick up their boxes. Sometimes it's stuff that they're not really familiar with, like pak choy or kohlrabi. But we try to give them recipes as well so that they can see this vegetable that's unfamiliar to them, learn a little bit more about it, and then get to try it for the first time maybe for some people. So the CSA is huge for us, definitely helps us make it through the year. And they're just really great people that are interested in eating local food and interested in supporting our farm, so we couldn't be happier to give them back some of the stuff that we grow. Another program we have is our WorkShare program. It's for people that want to be in the CSA, who maybe can't afford it or just who are interested in learning a little bit more about their food. So they can come out to the farm for 5 hours a week and they can work alongside of our farmers, and then they'll get that same box of CSA food and be able to take that home.
I do this once a week, every Monday. I've been doing this only for a few months. This is my first year. And I'm learning a lot about planning, about taking care of the crops, and about overall just farm taking care of maintenance, all that.
We're just digging up sweet potatoes, pulling all the vines and everything off of the patch, and getting a pitchfork and putting it in there and pulling out sweet potatoes. You have to be very careful not to spear them.
So it's another great thing for them because they get to be on the farm. They get to really, really know their farmers. And, they have fun out here. Plus, they make our farm just beautiful. They come back every week so that they know exactly what they want to do, all the different projects to do. We don't have to keep retraining them like normal volunteers who may come out here and then leave and then come back a year later. They're here every single week. And so they can just jump right in and do all the fun tasks that we have for them to do.
It just seemed like a really good way to spend a day off from work and be outside in the sunshine and work hard and be around good people and learn about some farming, gardening.
In terms of bringing home food that we can just clean off and get ready to cook, it feels great because this literally just came out of the soil. We're gonna cook it now. It connects you. It just connects you. It feels great. It's a totally different experience from going to a grocery store and buying something that's already washed, already been processed.
Very fresh and delicious. Definitely tastes better than what you get in the grocery store. Totally become snob about what I eat produce-wise. And it's great working and then getting paid for your work and good food.
Being an urban farm, people can come out and visit us a lot easier. They don't have to drive all the way out to the countryside to go visit us. They can just come 5 minutes from downtown Chattanooga and just see this beautiful farm and just learn where their food comes from.
It's important for Chattanooga to have Crabtree. We're close to town, we're in downtown. They can come out here, they can get fresh food, they can get good food, they can meet their farmers.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Live Green Tennessee, where we take you all across the state into the farms and businesses of those who are making the move to eating fresh, living sustainably, and helping us all be more organic in our thinking and the way we live our lives as Tennesseans. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on Live Green Tennessee.
If you would like more information about Live Green Tennessee, please visit our website at livegreentv.org, where you can find everything from healthy recipes to past episodes and more. This program is brought to you in part by...
Behind every Pick Tennessee Products logo is a Tennessee farmer who brings you fresh, local food grown with the kind of pride that gets handed down through generations. From now through fall, you can find Tennessee fruits and vegetables on farms and at farmers markets near you. Find your Tennessee farmers at picktnproducts.org.
What makes our state unique? Find out on the new Tennessee Channel, a statewide initiative by your public television stations. Each program is created in Tennessee, about Tennessee, and broadcast in Tennessee.
The Tennessee Channel, Saturdays 6 to 10 p.m. Eastern and Sundays 2 to 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on your public television station.
Funding for this program is provided in part by the United States Department of Agriculture, providing leadership on food, agriculture, natural resources, and related issues based on sound public policy and efficient management.